I found this ancient map from the 1200s, and it's got heaven and the Garden of Eden on it. So I was like, I must find the garden, and after staring at the map until my eyes hurt, I did it. I marked all the countries, and I used the Bible. The first clue was east, but east from where? East from Jerusalem. As Jerusalem is known as the center of the world in Christianity, and Jesus was born in Bethlehem, it only makes sense that the starting point is Jerusalem, and head east from there. I've labeled the countries so you can follow along and help you to understand the mindset of the ancient people. Note there is no Pacific Ocean on this map, as the Pacific Ocean wasn't known until 14th or 16th century. There were a lot more of these maps until the 1930s when they were been destroyed along with many more historic artworks in the Allied bombing. This particular map was hidden by the Archbishop of the Hereford Church at the time. Jerusalem is drawn in the center of this map because it is the center of the world in the west. When I place the compass over Jerusalem and make a line, it connects to the Garden of Eden. East meaning in the Bible is to start from Jerusalem and head east and keep on going until you reach the garden. When I circled around Eden to identify the nearest countries, from that I could see Eden was in Asia, but I wasn't sure if it was in India or China. This is what I did to solve that. I started by identifying as many of the rivers as I could. After I had done that, I double and triple checked it to find if I was wrong. Everything seemed okay, and there wasn't any deviation. After becoming familiar with the area by using Professor Google to study the rivers of the world, I was able to identify a few of the rivers on the Mappamundi. The most obvious marker to stick out is the bend in the Ganges River. I had an idea of the rivers. I then went to today's current river map to see what I could find and look for the closest rivers next to that bend in the Ganges, as that is an obvious land feature drawn on the Mappamundi next to the Garden of Eden. I then used the Psalter map from 1265 to look for clues, and this is what I saw on the map. This map also has the Garden of Eden drawn on it. When I studied the Mappamundi maps, I noticed the ancient people had a clever way of navigating using these maps. By looking at the Psalter map and cross-referencing it to the Hereford map with today's current map, I could see the connections. The landscape may not be the same as it was 1,000 years ago, but you can still see the land features, and the mountains ain't moving or changing its shape anytime soon. Okay, I wanted more proof, as I am sure you do too. Here is what I know. I started from Jerusalem and headed east, and found the 4 rivers as marked on the Mappamundi, and confirmed the rivers drawn are in Asia. Now, I am here. I had to figure out where to go, as all the clues in the Bible ended here at the 4 rivers. What would you do here? What I did was I looked at heaven, as it was very close to the Garden of Eden. I looked at the angels, the demons, the people, and the gates of heaven, and that's when I saw it. I saw that the gates of heaven were the Great Wall of China. Let's continue with looking at the map closer. This is the clearest I could zoom in. We will compare the map drawings to the actual Great Wall and look for similarities if it were the Great Wall of China. The most obvious similarities to stick out are the barrier walls, beacon, and watchtowers. You can clearly see the similarities when first comparing the map drawings to the Great Wall. It's obvious, as seen when comparing the map and the wall side by side. The similarities are strong. I don't need to say much here, as I'm not a certified historian and the history is very deep. So I'm not going to talk about the history, as I am certain the gaps can be filled easily, and only stick to what we have found with the Hereford Mappamundi and the Bible. And I haven't traveled to these locations to give a personalized view. As we can see when we connect the arrows from the map to the Great Wall gates, we can identify distinct similarities. The tall door and corridor, along with the arch of the door as well. It is also a single gate, and is not a square door. It is a door similar to the Mappamundi. Is proof enough that the drawings of the Mappamundi and the Great Wall of China gates match. We only need to find which gate it was. If we were in the wrong location, there would be no matches, and would be struggling to find any kind of answer. This courtyard was very special in the ancient times, as this is where people would be judged, and if they passed, they entered. If not, they were cast into the desert and never seen again. When we go back to the map and review the gates of heaven, I noticed something else, the way that the wall is shaded. Can you see it? It is shaded with a dirty look and is not pristine. That is a significant clue. For it to possibly be the Great Wall, it would need to have these two features minimum. It would need to be on the western side along the Silk Road, and it has to have existed at the time of Jesus being alive, as he is the person drawn on this map. Let's recap again. We had a map and a Bible from Hereford, England. Then on the map we started at Jerusalem, we traveled east which took us past Mesopotamia, over the Himalayas, and looked at India and Tibet to China, in search of the Garden of Eden. We can move on to the next two clues, and they are: the wall location has to be in the west in the area, circled as anywhere else on the map. We need to start over and rethink the whole theory. And it must have been already built at the time of Jesus, as he is on the map. The first place we will start is here, where the roads all meet and is circled on the map. Dunhuang. This is what I found doing a quick search. I will read it out. A large proportion of the Great Wall we see today was built during the Ming Dynasty 1368-1644. However, west of Yumengguan Pass in Dunhuang, Gansu Province lies a section dating from the Han Dynasty 2C BC, 220, more than 1,300 years earlier than the Ming sections. Did you get that? 220 BC, 200 years before the time of Christ, and it is in the west. Did we just hit 2 home runs with 1 ball? Let's hit another. Do you remember this clue? How I referred to the walls as being shaded with a dirty feature. What that meant was the walls were made with mud, dirt, and something similar, not with standard bricks. As we have seen in examples from the images shown, the bricks we've seen are normal bricks, except for one location. Instead of building with layers of stone or bricks like in other locations, this location was built by using the local sand and plants. These two construction materials were added by putting one on top of another, then rammed down in layers of sand, turning as tough as steel and the sand into concrete. And that location is Gansu Province, the same province Dunhuang is located in, the only province in China to use this method of rammed earth to build parts of the Great Wall. Archaeological findings have shown that Gansu Province has been inhabited since at least 5,000 to 8,000 years ago. Gansu Province is the northwest corridor of China, bordered by mountains and the Gobi Desert. It is a natural route known as the Hershi Corridor. We must be in the right location, as all the clues have led us to this province. Gansu. Are you satisfied with the results so far? When we look at the Garden of Eden, we can see heaven is drawn north of the Garden of Eden, has water flowing around it, and a wall surrounding the garden, with fire on the outside. We learn the illustrations of heaven are of the Gansu province where Dunhuang to Wuwei is situated. This gives a reference in the direction we must travel, and that direction is southward. A total of 3 cities remain on this epic journey. Let us start with the first city, where it is well known for its rare and sought-after lilies and flowers, Longzhou. After reviewing hours of researching the city, there wasn't much going on here in relation to the Mappa Mundi. Apart from this symbol, when I translate it into a sentence, it reads already done the garden, preserving the small harvest. It is possible that Longzhou may be the Garden of Eden drawn on the map, as it is next to the Yellow River, which is known as a Mother River of China, or the Eastern Cradle of Life, also the birthplace of Eastern civilization. But I'm not convinced it is here, as no wall and fire are encapsulating Longzhou. So we will move on, and we are in search of the Garden of Eden. So let's move to the next city south, Xi'an, formerly known as Chang'an. We are here at the last stop on the map. What we are going to do here is use a tourist map to navigate the city. The first immediate thing I notice is the moat surrounding the city. The second feature is the walled fortress around the city. I can see there are 4 gates placed in the 4 cardinal positions, north, east, south, and west. In the middle of each wall, each direction has a Chinese blessing to go with the direction. The 4 gates are respectively named Eternal Joy in the east, Eternal Peace in the south, Forever Harmony in the north, Harmony Peace in the west. I noticed 3 of the 4 directions have an eternal blessing named to it, apart from the west, where when you leave 2 gates, you are blessed with harmony and peace. It's like saying all the best and good luck. In the middle here is the bell tower. Here's some history about Xi'an. Xi'an is one of China's oldest cities, with a history of over 3,000 years. The Emperor China is named after his buried there, along with the terracotta soldiers, which are inside of China's pyramid called the Mausoleum, and is still filled with ancient treasures of Qin dynasties. There are also many other emperor tombs there. They are known as the Western Sheer Tomb. All this information is really helpful. As we have arrived at the Garden of Eden, let us absorb that. Now, I am going to explain the Ring of Fire. To do that, we are going to go back to the wall to look at its defensive structure along the battlement walls. As we can see, there are many of these holes along the Great Wall called crenels and shooting holes, where they can roll stones filled with gunpowder toward the invaders. They would also use logs set on fire and pour large pots of hot oil through the gaps onto invaders and debris burning on the ground, where it heat up to a point and instantly set a blazing fire that could last days, resulting in a ring of fire long enough for reinforcements to arrive, making it an impenetrable fortress. And that is the Ring of Fire explained on the Mappa Mundi. In this location, we solve the water around Eden, and Eden is encased in a wall with a ring of fire. We answered all the questions. 4 rivers are also flowing through the city of Xi'An, and 2 rivers can connect to the Yellow River, east or west, where you can travel to Lungzhou via river routes, onto Wu Wei, out west and to the east.